Are you literally locked out of your SentrySafe right now? Okay, first things first, take a deep breath. We've all been there. Whether you're holding a stack of super urgent documents or just trying to grab some family valuables, staring down a locked safe can feel incredibly frustrating. But here's the good news. Most of these lockouts, they're solved in minutes, and you absolutely don't need to go grabbing a drill. So let's just dive right into this practical, no-fluff explainer to get you back into your safe fast without the panic. And since we're focusing on San Diego homeowners today, we've got some specific local options for you too. Here's our quick roadmap for today's explainer. We're going to identify your lock type, run through some electronic keypad quick fixes, solve combination dial issues, tackle lost codes and keys, and finally, look at exactly when it's time to call in a pro. Let's get to it. Section 1. Identify your safe lock. This is where we find your starting point. Your very first step here is to figure out exactly which lock you're dealing with, because each type has a totally different fix. Got an electronic keypad? You'll see numeric buttons, maybe a little display. The fastest fix for that one is almost always replacing the battery. Or maybe you've got a combination dial, the classic single rotating dial. If that's the case, your fix involves rechecking your dialing technique. And finally, you might have a key-only tubular lock. For that, you're either going to need the original key or a locksmith. Most home document fireproof chests actually use that first option, the electronic keypad. Moving right along to Section 2, Electronic Keypad Quick Fixes. Let's walk through this step by step. Now, what's really crazy and honestly so often overlooked is that a completely dead 9-volt battery is the single biggest reason your SentrySafe won't open. Seriously, it's usually not a jammed bolt and it's not a fried circuit board. Overwhelmingly, it's just a dead battery causing an unresponsive keypad. So you're going to want to work through these 3 escalating steps in exact order, starting with swapping out that battery, just to rule out the absolute easiest fixes first. Step 1. Find your battery compartment. On a lot of models, it's right behind the keypad panel. You just pop off a little plastic cover. Swap in a fresh, name-brand 9-volt alkaline battery and try your code again. Step 2. If the battery didn't do the trick, look for the backup override key. A lot of these safes actually ship with a small tubular key that totally bypasses the electronics. It might even be hiding under a little logo cap on the front of the door. And step 3. Try a factory default code. If you haven't manually changed your code since you bought the thing, check your manual or look inside the battery compartment for a sticker with the factory defaults. SentrySafe models frequently use 1234 or 0000 right out of the box. You'll actually often find a factory sticker with the code printed right there inside the battery housing. Now, if you have changed the code over the years, well, this obviously won't help you, but it's a super critical box to check before you throw in the towel. Okay, Section 3. Solving combination dial issues. Sometimes going back to the dialing basics is all it takes. The crucial thing to understand here is that a quote-unquote broken dial might just be one rotation off, or it might just need a little light handle pressure to relieve some internal bolt tension. Recheck your rotation count. Most dials need a specific number of full rotations before you hit that first number, and then you alternate directions for the next 2. Dial deliberately. If your combination is definitely correct but the safe just refuses to open, try applying a bit of light pressure to the handle while you turn to that final number. Sometimes the handle is under tension because of items jammed inside, or the dial has just drifted slightly out of calibration over time. If your DIY dialing fails, locksmiths use this absolutely fascinating non-destructive process called manipulation. It sounds like something out of a movie, but instead of destroying the safe, a trained technician essentially reads the internal wheels just by feel and sound to map out the working combination. It's a highly specialized skill that leaves your safe perfectly intact and ready to use again. Drilling should literally always be your last resort. Which brings us to Section 4, Lost Codes and Missing Keys. Let's look at your recovery options. You've really got to weigh your options here. If you aren't in a rush, the factory program totally works. But if you need your documents today, a local professional is for sure your best route. SentrySafe's factory recovery program requires you to submit your serial number, which you can usually find on the back or bottom of the safe, along with proof of ownership. It generally runs between $50 and $150, but you're going to wait 1 to 2 weeks for a response. On the flip side, a locksmith gives you immediate access. They use those non-destructive methods we just talked about, and they get you your essential documents today. Now, for key-only tubular models, whatever you do, do not force the lock. You can often just order a replacement directly from the manufacturer using your serial number. If you happen to write down the key number that was stamped on the original key, Or if you can read the serial number off the safe itself, SentrySafe can sometimes cut a brand new replacement key and mail it right to you. Like the recovery program, this takes a little time, but it saves the safe.
All right, Section 5, when to call a pro. Let's talk about those escalation paths.
Please do not keep fighting the safe if you experience any of these signs. A professional is just the safer path to avoid permanently damaging your hardware. For example, if you pop in a fresh, brand new 9-volt battery and that keypad is still totally dark, yeah, the internal electronics have probably failed. If you know the code is 100% correct and you hear the mechanism trying to turn, but the bolt won't retract, something is mechanically jammed. And honestly, if you've inherited a safe with absolutely no history, you're going to need an expert's touch to recover that combination. To ground this explainer in reality, let's look at a transparent breakdown of what professional safe opening actually costs right here in San Diego. For a residential fire safe in the SentrySafe class, you're typically looking at around $150 to $275 to get it popped open. If it's a slightly heavier-duty standard home or office safe, that bumps up to maybe $175 to $350. And keep in mind, most quotes will also include a standard service call fee, which runs about $65 to $125. Knowing these numbers up front really helps you make an informed decision on whether to pay to recover the safe or just buy a new one. And remember, whether you're right downtown or way out in Julian, non-destructive help from this swift key network is available 24/7. Their mobile locksmith team serves all of San Diego County, from coastal spots like Coronado and La Jolla, all the way east to Alpine and the backcountry. So if you're staring at a locked safe late at night and you desperately need a passport for a morning flight, a real locksmith is out there ready to help without destroying your safe. Hopefully, this explainer helped you get that door open. But it does leave us with a really important question to think about regarding your overall home security setup. Are your most important valuables easily accessible to you, but completely secure from everyone else? Getting locked out is incredibly frustrating, I know, but it's also a great opportunity to evaluate your hardware. Maybe it's time to actually test those override keys, swap out old batteries on a set schedule, or even upgrade your whole system. You want to ensure that the only person locked out of your safe is the person who shouldn't be there in the first place. Thanks for hanging out with me for this explainer, and stay secure out there.